Hey everybody, I'm Undrai Fizer. I hope you're doing well. I'm praying for you. What does that mean? It means that I'm constantly in a mode where I want you to succeed. I'm constantly in a mode where I want you to know the difference between real process and recycling problem. It means that I'm constantly in goal mode for myself. And as I discover treasures, I'll show you how to get there if that's where you want to go. I just want to say to you, those of you who are filled with the Holy Spirit, and I know our encounter with the Holy Spirit is different. Some, when I say filled with the Holy Spirit, it may be a good spirit, it may be speaking in tongues, but what I mean is filled with a total yielding to God's goodness, where the love of God is something you have interpreted for you. Because I could struggle interpreting what the kingdom and the love of God is for me. I just know for me, it is my main thing. And from my main thing, I do everything else. It is the thing that I live from. And from that thing, I make every decision in my life, whether it's business, whether it's for leisure. From this main thing, from this main thing, I decipher my relationships. From this mindset, I want to see how everything in my life will affect my main thing. If I make any decision, I want to see how will this decision affect my main thing. And I existed and I lived from this main thing when I met my wife 30 years ago. My wife came into the marriage, number 2, to my main thing. Now, no one taught me or told me what to do with it. It meant that much to me. And I think that power is reserved for you. The main thing is not what I say it is. It's what it is for you. You determine what it is to you. I can't give a jurisdiction on what that main thing is. But that main thing is what I live from. That main thing sanctifies me. That main thing corrects me when I'm wrong. That main thing lets me know what to do. I love that thing. It's a main thing because it's the main love of my life. And every one of you has a main thing. I could get the Bible and pull out scriptures and tell you what's right and wrong. But I'd rather not do that. I'd rather you have a one-on-one connection with your thing. And I pray that you yield to that thing. As a matter of fact, if it's your main thing, you're already yielded to it. You're already with it. Now, those of you who are coming into this love affair with God, I know you're ready to grow and ready to soar. But I want you to take time to let the love of God tell you what to do. Take this time out to let love show you the way. Follow your examples, but let love show you the way. Because wherever there is love, there is the main thing. And whatever is the main thing is going to be the thing that you subject everything to. Now, you may have to get over some hiccups and some failures and some mistakes. Well, get over them. You're going to make them. I know you're going to make the mistakes. I know you're going to fall. I know you're going to miss it every now and then. But when the main thing is the main thing, you'll get up. And one thing I know is that the Holy Spirit will reveal what to do. Because wherever love is residing, instruction is coming. Wherever love is residing, instruction is coming. Love shows me how to develop the relationship even more. The attraction to God. How many of you have an incredible attraction to God? See, this attraction, what is it to be attracted to God? Is it attraction to good things, or is it attraction? I know a lot of my vernacular could be misunderstood, but what is it to really be attracted to God? Am I attracted to the Bible, or what is it? Everybody has a meaning. Everybody has a definition. I can't strip you from your definition. I can't strip you from what it is. It's however you see it. But I've had this attraction to God. And from this attraction to everything God is, wisdom, courage. Now, those are the things that I'm naming because those are the things that I fed from. See, don't take a lot of the time. I could name a lot of things and it may be different than what you name, because whenever we love a thing, we get a different thing from it. From my experience with God, I loved his resilience. I loved his wisdom. And I just loved the nature of his being. Him being a son of God, I thought was so adventurous. And that's what I wanted, that adventurous feeling of being a son of God. I wasn't trying to be a better preacher. I wasn't trying to be a better pastor. I wasn't trying to be a better prophet. It was nothing churchified that I was looking for. I just loved the adventurous thinking. I loved the capacity in being a son of God, just being included in that realm. All of the other things I learned later, but those were the basic things that I admired about Jesus. I admired that. And from that admiration of Jesus, I adopted that as my life. Now, over the years, I learned to expand in different things from it. But the foundation was love and affection. Now, see, once we get our beginnings of love right, once we get the beginnings, not all of the spectrum, because sometimes you're not going to get all of it today. But if you could get the beginning, if your beginnings are authentic, if you can get the beginning of the relationship authentic, then everything can grow right. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? When you could get the beginning of the authenticity right, why am I here? I know I ask a lot of collegiate questions. What's your purpose and what's your place in the earth? Well, yeah, I've been teaching a long time. And if you've been following me a long time, you're going to be up there with my teaching. You're going to be up there. But when it comes to your personal reality, get the beginning, get the litty bitty parts, get the small parts authentically right. Is there a true love with this? Because the beginnings will determine everything. Am I making sense? Thanks, Mary. You see, the beginnings will determine everything. The beginning of the seed will determine how everything grows. So the first thing you want to solidify is your beginning in relationship. Is there a mutual attraction? If it's trying to get something right, if that's the beginning, you're going to kind of miss it because you're going to be forcing it. But what is the beginning of the relationship? Is there love at the bottom of this, at the beginning of this? Repeat after me. Is there true love at the beginning of this? Don't look at all of how the tree is going to grow. Just look at the beginning of this. Is there true love at the beginning of this? Is there authentic love and trust at the beginning of this? Because if there is just a comparison to try to catch up, then you're going to lose it. Let's just take it to the very simple beginning. Is there love at the beginning of this? When I met my wife, there was love at the beginning of that. Now, we've had a lot of imperfections and failures and arguments and things, but at the core beginning, I loved her. At the core beginnings, I loved her. At the core beginning. When you look at look at you and God. Is there love? Is there a hatred of you and a love of God? Or is loving God helping you to love you? Let's look at the beginning. Is this love you have for God, is it helping you to love you? And if you're figuring it out, let's not go so fast. If you're figuring that out, let that be the thing for now until it grows and germinates and permeates into something. Is loving God helping me to love myself? You don't have to worry about answering all the major questions. Is loving God helping me to love myself? Because if you're filled with the Spirit or the essence of God, it's going to enable you and empower you to see it. Because when you see somebody, before you know they're crazy, you might fall in love with them before you know they're crazy. And then later on, you say, wait a minute, something wrong with you. But at first it's an attraction. It's something appealing. It looks good, and I'm curious about it. It looks good. You just don't fall. Some people fall in love at first sight, but some people, it's an attraction. I'm locked into you. I don't know you, but it's locked in. It's the same with God. I don't know all about you, but I'm locked in. When I'm locked in, and I get a compliment or I give a compliment, I will look for that person to be in that same place tomorrow. If I see you at my job and I say, hey, and I'm locking in and I say, hey, after a while, if you're attracted to me, you'll be looking for me to be at that same place tomorrow, to the point when you've gotten so used to me saying hi that you might even fix yourself, because that man or that woman may be here and they're going to see me. So I want to make sure my hair is cut. I want to because I like the compliment. I like the flirting. I like the courting. Let me ask you something. Has the Holy Spirit begun courting you yet? Has the Holy Spirit, like you see, it's not about just going into a full-fledged sanctified relationship. Has the Holy Spirit, has the truth, let me just put it this way, because I'm trying to break it down as simplified as I can. Has the truth begun to court you? God courts us. God woos us. How many of you have been feeling the effects of God wooing you? And maybe God will be there tomorrow when I get there. He's not looking to go with you today, but he's letting you know I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you and I'm saying something to you. How many of you have and see, I don't know that. See, only you would know that. I don't know that. But how many of you can say God has been flirting with you? He's been courting you. You've been hearing things. Now, based on how attracted you are will determine how much you pay attention to the wooing. But if you don't like the person, they can say, how you doing, Miss Dolly? They can say that all day. But if that person ain't attractive to you, they're just talking. And sometimes we get addicted to people speaking nice, but we're not ready for a relationship. We don't want to commit to them, but they make us feel good. Do you see the difference? See, could God be a spirit that's making you feel good, but you don't want to go with him? Because sometimes, if a lot of young ladies, when I was coming up, they could say, oh, hey, Undrai, Andre, you're so cute, you so handsome. I'd be like, yeah. But I didn't want to have no relationship with them. But they flattered my ego to the point that if they were not there when I went to work or went to a certain place, I missed them. I missed them because they flattered my ego, but I didn't want to have a relationship with them. Is God someone who constantly flatters our ego, but I don't want to yield? You're not beautiful enough for me to show around yet. I don't think we'll look good together. How many of you follow what I'm saying? How many of you can look at God and you and you could say we look good together? Because sometimes when you're kind of carnal, you want to see if you and the girl look good together. I remember that when I was coming up. I would ask my friends, you think we look good together? Oh, y'all a cute couple. When they tell you that you're a cute couple, you might buy into the relationship because they said you all were a cute couple. But every cute couple are not in love. Every cute couple remains a couple as long as people call them cute. So our relationship is based on people. We got to constantly be around people who say we look good. But there's going to come a day no one's going to be there to say we look good. And we're going to have to live together. And it's not going to work. Because we got to live together. And I got to constantly be around people who say we look good. Am I making sense? So do you feel you and God look good together? By show of hands. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm going to hold you. I was just thinking about this. Do you feel that you and the Spirit of God look beautiful together? And is God wooing you? Because when you are attracted to the one that's wooing you, you're going to go deeper. You're going to go deeper in a relationship. You're going to give a phone number out. You're going to say, call me at this time because I may be busy right here. But but text me first. How many of you have got to that place with God? In yourself, not with me teaching you, because everybody can't teach you how to be in love with God. Everybody can't teach you steps on how to be in love with God. It's natural. Just like everybody can't teach you how to make love. It's natural as you yield. You can look at the magazines and the tapes and the DVDs and stuff like that, and it's giving you a wild way to do it. But when you really make love, it's natural. The curiosity, the shaking, the nervousness of the first entrance and the what could happen, But your love for the person has weakened you to the point where you're yielding to the touch. And it's like that with God, that covenant of being in love with God in a relationship, in marriage to God is like that. Because the love of being freshly in his hands nervously places you at his feet. And it lets you open yourself up to him. Because if you're trying to walk with a spirit that you have not intimately been affected by, you're going to have problems. And that's when religiosity comes in. Do I raise my hands? Do I turn around? What do I do? You follow your heart. Write that down, everybody. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Go ahead and write it down. God woos us. God woos us and courts us and loves us. And that's how we walk in this. But if there is no attraction, the flattery means nothing except stirs my ego. But if I don't want to yield to it, I'm just going to want God to tell me how good I am and how beautiful I am. I don't want to yield to it, because once it stops, I miss it. I remember being there, young lady like me, and she would say it all the time. But I didn't want to go with her. I didn't want her to be my girlfriend. But I didn't know how addictive and how I connected with the flattery until she was no longer there to give it to me. And then when I saw her move on with her life, sometimes we want to disturb people who've moved on because we want to see do they still think about us. We don't want them, but we became addicted to the attention they gave us. And when we see them move on with their life and talking to somebody else, we want to disturb them and sit at the table and bring them down old memory lane. Remember when you used to like, remember when you used to, and we want to stir up their past memories of us and their past fondness of us just to see if they still want to give us attention. Now, we don't want them, but we'll stir them just enough to see if they remember lifting us up. Am I making sense with this? You don't want them, but you want the attention they provided you. And sometimes we can be that way with God. I want to see if I still mean something to you. You're so patient with me, but when His Spirit moves on, something in us says, wait a minute. And we stir the coals just to see if He still thinks that way about us. I don't want to go all the way. I just want to see if you still feel that way. Listen, this walk with God, it's not a complicated walk. It's not complex. Just make sure your beginning is authentic. Are you being courted? And whatever that is it worthy enough to grow? I'm Undrai. Peace.